I didn't want to use arrows there. Oh, that's big. Oh, that was big. Oh, that was big. The arrows were fine. What was wrong with the arrows there? Wait, it activates the king? I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's how the game worked. Wait, what? It activates the king? What? Oh, we can't go for arrows here, there's no point. He's gonna do skeletons here. I need to be ready for it. GG. Damn, that was a good counter. Dude, fuck off! I fucked it up so badly. You ready? You ready? I lost. The way this guy plays the game, I think is the most despicable, dog shit, boring fucking gameplay you can ever find in a player. Actually fucking disgusting. It is despicable. It is unfathomable. It is unapologetable. What? That was a good play there, what? That was a great play.
Love you, Dad xQcl.
my god, I lost that as well, I think. I think I fucking lost this game again, dude. Are you kidding me? Wait, this guy's full. This guy's pay to win. Wait, this guy's a massive pay to win. He's gonna do another witch right here, and it's gonna fuck me over. Level 14. What? It killed my prince. What the fuck? Got him. Got him. GG. GG, get fucked on. He's just got obliterated. I just absolutely fucking rolled him. Guys, that guy was pay to win. Look, let me show you proof. Okay, fuck. Come on, give me a crit, give me a crit, give me a crit, give me a crit. Oh my god, this fucker. This guy pay to win. Look at his level. Massive pay to win. Massive pay to win. He's level 12! Oh my god, pay to win Andy! Pay to win Andy! Pay to win Andy!
I'm finna drown from all that drip you got RNX such a W shirt, not gonna cap.
Man, this pay to win Andy. He's so high leveled. Pay to win Andy! Oh, that was massive. Oh, that's massive. Oh, that's massive.
L.
Wait a minute.
Today's chat's birthday. Happy birthday, chat smile. Hi Mr. Cow, or should I say xQc. Thank you for all the laughs through these years of juicing, and I hope for more to come. xQcl.
Boom! Boom! I can barely breathe. My heart's racing. What the fuck? That was fucking massive. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Level 12. 12, 12, 13. Oh my god. Oh my god. Pay to win Andy. Pay to, I just completely obliterated this fucker. Come on, man. Don't be weird like that. Bad surround. They're really bad surround.
Hello Mr. Cow, did you know verified accounts only chat has been on since last night? -5 for the silent juicers.
Wait, really?
You hurrah.
Wait, mods, do we actually have that? What was that? Why did I just do that? What am I doing? Like, what am I doing? I don't get it. Oh, he's paid to win. I didn't notice. No. No.
Mr. Cow, can you please host a tournament? It's very little gem to host and you can spectate games from your community. It's a win-win.
Pay to win. No. I'll let the broadcast play. Maybe they're gonna say it.
And welcome to a very special For the Record, everybody. I am Jesse Weber.
Watch this.
We are here
Watch this. Watch
in
this.
Fairfax County, Virginia. I'm here with Gene Rossi. And by the way, you know, I should have needed a booster seat. I didn't realize this height differential when we're sitting. But we're right now not in front of the courthouse due to thunderstorms in the area. In fact, there was an Amber Alert that popped up in the middle of closing arguments.
No,
but that's
I
what's
didn't do
happening
it.
right now. We are reporting live to you. That trial will be back soon. They're currently on a lunch break. We're live in the closing arguments for the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. And during this lunch break, this is when we take your questions on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, email. Send your questions in, and we will answer them today. I'm not only here with the esteemed law and crime legal analyst Gene Rossi, I'm also here with law and crime legal analyst Dina Dahl, as well as trial attorney Catherine Lizardo. It's great to have everybody here. I'll start off with some questions. First up, we have from Leon1 Shrike on YouTube. How long is this break for? Till 2:10 Eastern. That's when we think that the lunch break will be over and the jury will come back in. Gene, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
This is from Stressed Potato on YouTube. Let's Stressed Potato. During closing arguments, why hadn't Johnny's lawyers play Amber's testimony from yesterday admitting to writing the op-ed about Johnny for the jury?
You know, I don't know why they didn't do that. I think that's a very good point to counter the argument that was coming out from Mr. Rottenborn, that article really was a global comment about domestic abuse, and it really wasn't designed to affect his reputation, because that's what they got to show. It was designed to hurt and harm Johnny Depp. I don't know why they didn't play that. That's a very good question.
Yeah, because a lot of our viewers were saying that was a little bit of a slip-up from Amber Heard. And talking about again, we are going to take all your questions this hour, but to give you a sense of what you might have missed, here's a portion of Johnny Depp's his closing argument from earlier this morning. Take a look.
The mountain of evidence that Mr. Depp abused Ms. Heard is simply not there. What we have is a mountain of unproven allegations that are wild, over the top, and implausible. And you can't pick and choose which of these wild allegations to believe and which ones to disregard. You either believe all of it or none of it. Either Mr. Depp sexually assaulted Ms. Heard with a bottle in Australia, or Ms. Heard got up on that stand in front of all of you and made up that horrific tale of abuse. Either she's a victim of truly horrific abuse, or she is a woman who is willing to say absolutely anything. It is disturbing to think that Ms. Heard would make up the horrific tales of abuse that she testified to in this courtroom. But this case doesn't come down to whether you believe Ms. Heard or you believe Mr. Depp. This case comes down to whether you believe Ms. Heard or you believe Mr. Depp, Christy Dombrowski, Sean Bett, Malcolm Connolly, Travis McGivern, Starling Jenkins, Keenan Wyatt, Dr. Kipper, nurses Debbie Lloyd and Aaron Filati, Tara Roberts, Ben King, Kate James, Kate Moss, Dr. Colbert, Morgan Knight,
Ishram,
Morgan Tremaine, Officers Melissa Sines, Officers Tyler Haddon, Officer William Gatlin, and Beverly Leonard. What Ms. Heard testified to in this courtroom is the story of far too many women. But the overwhelming evidence and weight of that evidence shows that it's not her story. It's not Ms. Heard's story.
Okay, a powerful moment there from Camille Vasquez saying you have to believe that Amber Heard is telling the truth and everyone else is not telling the truth. We're getting more of your questions right now on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, however you want to send them in. I have a question from Tammy Japink from YouTube. Did the judge just tell Amber's team that they only had 6 minutes left? That is correct. So there are time limits here for these closing arguments. Amber's team only has 6 minutes left for a rebuttal closing argument. Johnny Depp's team, 39 minutes. That's exactly how we know how much longer these closing arguments are going to go before deliberations begin. Okay, Catherine Lizardo, I have a question for you from Declan Cooley on Facebook. Did Amber's team deliberately misuse the term malice to mean maliciousness? Isn't that trying to mislead the jury?
Exactly. I caught on that, and we were talking about that during the break, that when Ellen Bredehoff actually used malice to show sinister, that's not what actual malice is in this case, because we're talking about defamation. Remember that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are public figures. That's why the element of actual malice is included in the jury instructions. But actual malice means that you made the statement false, and knowing that it's so false and with such reckless disregard that it's tantamount to willful disregard of truth. But when she used it in her closing, she said, that Waldman, when he threw the paper at Amber Heard, that's malice, that's sinister. That's not what malice is. And you can see Camille and then Chu talking and trying to figure out, are we going to object here or not? Maybe we'll hear that in the rebuttal. And they should put that in their rebuttal.
They really should. That's such an important term. That's really the whole case. That's why when we talk about defamation, that actual malice standard is so important for the jury to understand the definition.
Malice is very hard to prove.
It's why
somebody making it, and that's not about malice. It's kind of like, it's pretty far out.
We have a question from one of our Twitch followers.
That's what I said.
Corporal Roll Mops. What do they object to in a closing argument? I read somewhere that this can be seen as unprofessional. So do you think Johnny Depp's side looks bad since they objected a lot more?
Yeah.
I think that Elaine was doing a fantastic job. And I say that as somebody who I think that Amber Heard was probably going to lose her case because of how many inconsistencies she has. But the way she had the facts and the legal arguments, and I think Johnny Depp's team realized that. They were trying to make sure that if she said anything, it was, really held to a high standard.
Did I miss a whole court case and shit?
Because the jury wants to hear this. This is their last chance to
hear an
uninterrupted version of events.
I think I might have been asleep or something.
Like they have to. It looks a little bit desperate, I think, the number of times they objected to her.
Yeah,
desperate.
I'll throw another question. Sure. One of our followers from Mexico. This is somebody who tweeted us. This is from @AmazingAndy. Amazing Andy. I thought you couldn't object on closing arguments. Why did Johnny Depp's attorneys do it? Ola from Mexico.
I was just in Mazatlan. There's two reasons why you object. One, the attorney for the other side is misstating the law. The other reason is they're misstating facts, grossly misstating facts. And there's actually a third reason, which is nefarious. An attorney is doing it to put the other side off stride. And I got to say this. Mr. Chu made some objections that I thought were okay. They were overruled, as I understand it. But you cross the line when you make too many objections during closing. I make very few because I think it looks bad in the eyes of the jury. You're trying to hide it. And if I'm getting up to respond to them, I'm going to address what they said.
So that's a really good point. And now we're talking about what the response is going to be. Dean, I'll go to you. We have somebody from Twitch. It's Amia2837. Do you think Team Amber can actually do something with that 6 minutes that they have left over in the rebuttal? I don't think they could push anything out. Johnny Depp's team was smart with how they arranged their time.
And time has been such a big issue this whole case, and how ironic it might be if it comes down to strategy of literally just time. I mean, like I said, I think that Elaine did a really strong, closing, the initial part of it. So we'll see. I think it is going to hurt them that they only have 6 minutes. They're going to have to be really strategic on which points, and there's a lot of points to rebut.
And we're seeing reporting from, I guess, the camera that Elaine Bredehoff might have been surprised by how much time they actually have left. Maybe they didn't actually strategize the right way there. Okay, Catherine Lizardo. This is from @Tweak on Twitch. This is actually from Twitter. Why do you think Heard has what seems like an impulse with staring, posing to the camera? And have you ever seen anything similar in other cases? I've never seen someone stare with so much hatred and disdain. Also, what do you think of her denying smirking and laughing in her last testimony?
Yes, so we tell our clients to go ahead and make sure you make contact, right? But you can only do that to a certain extent without looking weird or nefarious or looking like you're smirking, which is what's happening here. I think you have to do that authentically, and it's not coming across authentic when she does that. And when she says she's not smirking, unfortunately, we see something like that on the air, and it's our interpretation of what it's going to look like or what we think she's doing. And it doesn't look like smirking, or maybe that's her nervous way of showing her emotion. As we see, Johnny Depp sometimes would smirk or laugh too, but we see on the stand that when a very crucial fact that is emotional or hard to digest comes up, that he has a tendency to smile or smirk, and that's their tendency.
Well, they're both performers. We can't be, that surprised. I'm going to do a favor right now for one of our YouTubers. I mainly just want Jesse to read this name on air. Lucy Megapint. Are we surprised? Lucy Megapint? We knew where that came from. But Lucy does have a question. Are we on lunch or are we in deliberations? We are in lunch. There's still rebuttal closing arguments. We're not quite in the deliberation phase yet. So, Gene, I go to you now. This is another question that we have. It's an interesting one. This is from Mira Knoll on YouTube. Are the juries allowed to talk publicly if they want to? I don't know the official ruling yet on what's going to happen afterwards, but assuming they are allowed to speak publicly, do you think that they should?
All right, let me do the second question first. I don't think they should in a high-profile case like this. The first question is, yes, in Virginia, I talked to a juror a couple days ago who's the third person of a jury I had in March and early April. So in Virginia, unless there's a court order otherwise, state jurors can be called, you can interview them, and they can run their mouth and do whatever they want. Even at the federal level, and when I was an assistant U.S. attorney, we could not call the jurors, but they could talk to the public if they wanted to.
It's an interesting question, given the high-profile nature of this case and, kind of what we're seeing outside with a lot of people having strong opinions here. All right, Dina, before we hit a break, I want to go to you real quick from Facebook. This is from Esther Matthew. Depp's lawyers lacked a bit of emotion during their closing argument. You think this is an issue?
Depp's lawyers? I actually thought that Benjamin Chew gave a lot of emotion there at the end of his opening. It almost sounded, the camera wasn't on his face, but when he talked about how he has lost his reputation and his name and mentioned his children, there was a long pause. And then after he spoke, it really sounded like he was choked up. And that was the very end of his closing.
Big dude.
Him and Johnny Depp embraced. So I actually thought that was quite emotional for a lawyer during closing arguments, and definitely more than we've seen from Amber Heard's team.
It's why he's the final boss.
Let's see what happens with the rebuttal closings after lunch. All right, we're going to hit a break. Before we do, I want to let you know that we have not even a question, kind of a question for you, Gene, from Twitch. Garage 4618108. Gene, how tall are you, man? Too tall. Too tall is the answer.
Okay. I'm 5'10", and I wish I were 6'5", because I would have played in the NBA. 40/41, Bianchi.
You should have told them 6'8". That makes me look so short right now. All right, guys.
Oh my God, this guy.
We're going to take your questions. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook.
This
Get them
guy.
over to us, email them to us. We'll answer them on air. We'll be right back.
Holy. They should have brought a box. A good one, Toad.
xQcl.
Yeah, it's the guy that was on Discord. Yeah, he's a cool guy. This is a good song for Kazanti, man. See, I'll play this for you then. Guys, I believe with this deck, I can get 10 wins, at least. I think I'm probably one of the best players in North America with this deck. Another sniper.
X, will you ever come back to Austin?
No. No, I wasted some mana. Why not? I don't know. I was kind of done with Texas, man. I enjoyed living there, but I don't sense of living there anymore. I don't know. I think it's cool, but you know, it's a little, you know, it's a little dangerous. It's a little wild. What?
Johnny was never a physical abuser. Only Amber was. He is a nice guy. IRL Depp just.
It's not being a pussy. It's just, you know, like.
It was definitely unjustified for Disney and Warner Brothers to.
Yeah, it's just where I was done with it.
35 months troll despair hash. Is it possible we get viewer setup reviews again eventually? Love you chat, thanks for all the laugh, and you Mr. X, thanks for the juice. Please watch this video, it is only 5 seconds. Thank you. PVCL Nick.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Right now, we are on a lunch break in the Johnny Depp Amber Heard defamation trial. This is the time that we take your questions on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, email. Get your questions to us, and we will answer them right now. I'm here with Gene Rossi, I'm here with Dina Dahl, Catherine Lizardo. We're getting some great questions from our viewers right now. And by the way, as soon as we get a feed back into that courtroom with rebuttal closing arguments, we will jump live. Catherine Lizardo, I have a question coming in from Facebook. This is from Mary M. DiGastino. When Mr. Rottenborn, who is representing Amber Heard, had said if Johnny Depp is found abusing her one time, she wins, he said that several times. Do you think that the jury really likes that when people do that? And let me also throw in, what do you think about that comment that if the jury believes one instance of abuse, she wins?
It's true by law that if the jury finds that Johnny Depp committed even one abuse, whether it's emotional, psychological, or physical abuse, that Johnny Depp loses his defamation case because it would be true. Again, the statement of domestic abuse has to be false in terms of him. In terms of whether the jury likes that, Rottenborn had to point that out because that's one of their strongest argument here. But again, there's that question as to whether or not Johnny Depp wins or loses legally with his defamation claim. Does that matter in the scheme of things for Johnny Depp? And with his rebuttal testimony yesterday, I think the answer is no, that it doesn't matter for him whether he wins or loses. What mattered for him was he was able to tell his truth, the truth, and his side of the story.
play something
And I'll just put it this way. If you're going to re-emphasize a point, that's the point you want to re-emphasize. Jury, you just find one instance of abuse and Johnny Depp loses. I think he wants to keep repeating that psychological, mental, verbal, emotional abuse as many times as he can. So what we're going to do is we're going to take more of your questions. But to give you an idea of what happened with Amber Heard's side, here's a portion of her side's closing argument from earlier today.
But we've been looking forward to being able to explain to you what you're here to decide. Because I imagine for some of the case, it's been kind of unclear. What are you being asked to decide? These are the things that you have to find. And you have to answer yes. As Mr. Chu said, you have to answer yes to all of them in order to find in favor of Mr. Depp. So you have to find that the statement was about Mr. Depp. And you can decide that in the context of the article. And I'll get to the arguments that Mr. Depp raises on that in a minute. You also have to find that the statement is false. And we're going to look at the statements here. We're going to look at each of the three statements. And in order to
these decks are boring to play against.
Mr. Depp has to prove every single element. And there's a concept in the jury instructions that you really didn't hear from Mr. Depp's side this morning. But you've all heard it, I'm sure, outside the courtroom, which is burden of proof. It is Mr. Depp's burden to prove each and every one of these elements.
Okay. So what they're saying is that if you want to ruin somebody's life,
Ms. Heard,
what you do, you make somebody, you write an article
under the burden of proof
with
that's applicable, Ms. Heard
great
wins.
lies,
There's two
and you
different
put a
burdens of
bunch
proof
of
that we get
really
to.
damaging shit in the
For
title
all
instead.
Except number 7.
And you ruin
the
their
burden
life.
of proof is greater weight of the evidence. So you weigh the evidence and
You just go,
decide, has Mr. Depp
You just go.
proven to you.
Article
the first
says,
six
article
elements.
says,
The second
I went to
one,
dinner
for actual malice,
at
the
Jonathan's
clear and
house,
convincing
and we had
evidence
cupcakes.
We'll get to in a few
Title.
minutes. But this is what
Jonathan killed my dog, stole my cat,
cannot do
killed
that.
my family, and robbed 3 banks.
All right, so
Boom.
we're taking more of your questions right
Win.
now on YouTube.